Why do we relate to fictional characters? Is it their origins, personality the writers create for them, or the adventures they undertake? Why we like and relate to characters is personal and differs from each person. When reading a book, watching a film, or listening to a story, characters become more than simply just a piece of fiction. They can allow their respective audiences to feel understood or represented. Characters and audiences have a symbiotic relationship. A character is as influenced by the opinions of its audience as an audience is influenced by the portrayal of a character. In this short documentary, we'll be examining what makes a connection between a person and a character. Throughout all of history, people have looked up to characters, whether it be folklore tales such as King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, or stories of cowboys and outlaws fighting their way across America. We all wanted to be our favourite superheroes, or save the world like those we watched on film. A good story can transport its audience to a world free from their own personal troubles. There's multiple reasons why people form connections with the characters they watch or read. We may relate to the characters' struggles. We may see the difficulties they face and how they respond to situations. This could be considered inspiring and give people the courage to face their own problems. Characters such as Batman show audiences what pure determination and drive can create. Attraction also is a very common reasoning as to why characters are particularly favoured. Looking at films such as Twilight, fan bases consisting of millions of people around the world felt such powerful connections to the characters simply because of their looks. Representation plays a massive part as to why people related heavily to a character. In the 21st century, representation of all races, religions, sexualities and genders has been of great importance. The introduction of characters like Miles Morales give communities and cultures greater exposure in the public eye. This is important as we live in a heavily multicultural society, and this needs to be reflected in the content we create. However, not all representation can have a positive effect. Recently, the James Bond franchise has come under fire for the use of facial scars on a majority of its villains. This may cause an unconscious bias in audiences, leading to a negative opinion towards individuals with facial scarring. Furthermore, audiences can sometimes be far too attached to a character or a series. This can create a toxic relationship between the creators and the audiences. For example, the 1990 film Misery, based on the novel written by Stephen King, shows an extreme version of how changes to the characters people are so heavily attached to can cause erratic and dangerous behaviour. There are many reasonings as to why we relate to our favourite characters. Each individual will have their own personal reasonings, and that is what matters. It is important to understand that these characters are a work of fiction and come from the minds of those that created them. Audiences need to remember that they are not in fact real individuals, but extreme personalities who do not face the daily struggles like the rest of us. However, this does not take away from the lessons that we can learn. We may not be superheroes, but we can be heroes and help in our own reality.